It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Obiajulu.
Hi, excellent morning.
Maybe it's the glasses, but you're looking very pretty. You don't look like you watched the primaries at all. You look like you slept through.
I was up to like almost 3:30.
There are no bags under your eyes.
If I try it,
my eyes will be like this the next morning.
How are you doing, Chrissy?
I'm doing amazing. Today is my husband's birthday.
Happy birthday
Yes, happy birthday to my Odogu, my dear Obodo Yibo.
Yes, that's the one.
Hey, my dear Jemba. You know, I'm just so grateful to God for your life. God has seen you through everything. It's been from glory to glory, from grace to grace, and you are such an amazing human being,
yes,
first of all. So I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best that life has to offer. As a matter of fact, now me and you go chop all the best that life has to offer.
Yeah.
Day, darling.
All right, fantastic.
So after work, I have to.
We're not going to say today.
Are you taking him out to dinner? Is he taking you out? What are you guys doing?
But if I say it on TV, there are people who watch the show who give him everything I say.
Yeah.
They will now tell him before time, so let him wait. But I'm heading to the office. I usually supply food.
Yes, so
and
hey, they know
drinks.
Madam has entered.
I'm coming today to drop those for them.
That's
and
nice,
afterwards,
fantastic.
we'll take him home and
Do the needful.
did it.
Hey,
Are you
listen,
happy?
this country don't go kill us.
I've given my life to Christ.
Honestly, I've been blessed by Mr. Ugbo, and I really need to celebrate him. He's an amazing
thank
man.
you.
He's an amazing husband. He's an amazing father.
Yes,
You know, when they say example, of course, we all know that we're on a journey, and I'm grateful to see that journey grow. Yeah. That's how, when I was hearing everybody talking, my producer said we should follow the primaries. I just put my phone on silent, and I slept. I said, this Nigeria, we will wake up tomorrow and
we will still hear the news.
I woke up and I was checking. I thought maybe by this morning we'll know the way it is swinging. Nothing. I comfortably went to watch through TVC. In case you missed it, go to TVC. We covered it live.
I didn't
watch everything, and I'm as informed as those that did not sleep. That were following this
I didn't sleep. Unfortunately, I didn't sleep. I waited. Yes, I followed till like
no, they
1 a.m.
They were not voting until like 3 a.m.
I followed till like 1 a.m. and I have to be at work. I was considering my eyes because today I would have really been swollen up if I had
See,
slept
my daughter spoiled our TV about a month ago. She threw something at it, so it spoiled. So we couldn't watch Nigerian Idol finals. I had to go to my friend's house. So this primary, I said, hey, whose house am I going to? I have to call my friend. We are coming again, no. So I saw my husband now went there. Then while we're in their house, they now told me that I could actually watch. Of course I knew, but I guess it just skipped my mind that I could watch it on my phone.
Yeah.
So all of us just carried my smartphone and watching it till 3 a.m. That's like,
wow.
But you know what, listen. We'll talk about it.
That's what we're talking about.
So let's not talk about it. But
what has happened yesterday with you?
Yesterday, Tuesday, I have some jobs that I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to organize myself.
You
know, I'm just
I
trying to
heard
get
you just
things
firing
done.
orders on Monday.
I just need to get, you know, sometimes I feel like stepping down. You know, sometimes it's a lot of work. I really, but I need to just get organized. But I thank God for the progress that we've seen. Thank God for that. Let's go on a break. Today, it's all about the primaries, the APC convention yesterday. What did you see? How did you see it? What did you hear? What do you think? We're going to discuss that. But first, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
You too. All right, we're going to start with the nation. Tinubu set for victory. Picture here, obviously, of Asiwaju Tinubu in the middle of his supporters at the APC presidential primaries. Nigerian-Canadian jailed 3 years for importing cocaine. Motivation one day in Canada. Oil sector challenges threaten Nigeria's growth, says World Bank. Our attack, 33 bodies for burial, says Bishop. Why Makinde dropped ex-deputy by Oyo PDP? 3,000 of 34,000 PVCs collected in Lagos. Nigeria's oil revenue dips to 945 billion. Okay, which story are we starting with?
We could start with the Owo attack. So they have said, according to the cleric, that bodies of 38 worshippers among those killed last Sunday at St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo are to be buried very soon. He said that those of them that are being prepared for burial are victims whose bodies could not be identified by their relatives. They said the church has already fixed the dates for the burial, so they're just trying to finalize every other thing. It says some victims were not able to be recognized at all. I think those ones were those who were standing just before the altar that was detonated, so nobody could recognize them. And some family members had come earlier to pick up some of these victims to conduct private burials for them. They didn't take them to the mortuary at all. And so the total number of those who are going to be buried is just 38, but they will do a head count of those relatives who have taken some their loved ones to bury, so that they will have a total number of the people who died in that incident. Once everything is formalized, they will let us know the date for the mass burial.
Oh, that's such a sad story, yeah.
It's really sad. I feel like my political story is very useless in reaction to that, but it's also important to inform people of Oyo State that the deputy governor that will be contesting along with the governor would be different from the one that got sworn in the past 4 years. I was hoping to read the reason, but all I saw was that he has picked a running mate. The running mate is going to be the executive chairman of Oyo State Housing Corporation, Bayo Lawal, will be the running mate for the 2023 election. He is from Uke-Ogun. And this is happening 48 hours after the current deputy governor, Rauf Olaniyan, announced his defection to APC. That's the story.
Okay. So the REC, the Resident Electoral Commission of the INEC, Olusegun Agbaje, was saying yesterday in Lagos State that out of 34,000 PVC that were registered, only 3,000 have come to pick up. Oh. According to him, those who registered, they registered between June 2021 and December 2021. But it's quite disturbing that even though they registered, they came out to register, but they are yet to come pick up. And this is a problem because, according to him, he told his electoral officers in the local government to call all the owners of the PVCs to come and pick up from the offices. We're not going to bring PVCs to your houses. So I'm saying this because this is a very passionate matter at this moment. Nigerians are talking about we want leaders, we want good leaders. If you don't collect your PVC, you cannot vote. So please go and pick it up. You've registered. Now go pick up.
So the World Bank Global Economic Prospects is saying that Nigeria has been suffering consistency in our oil production. Like, we're not able to produce to capacity. We have the projected growth that we need to bring us out of the economic crisis we're facing isn't going to change anytime soon. And they said the report titled Stagnation Risk Rises Amid Sharp Slowdown in Growth. So we can produce more, we are not producing. The Petroleum Industry Act, which is supposed to help forestall the challenges within the oil sector, isn't performing. Nigeria still records 4 in 10 Nigerians live below poverty line, with many more lives at risk of falling below. And right now, when they talk about PVC, when they talk about following the election, following the primaries, this is really important for us to do, because whatever decision we make regarding our leader will determine if we're able to recover or things continue to nosedive.
Okay, let's move on now to the Punch. Presidency drama color as APC holds primaries. Why Buhari insists on national carrier, says interim CEO. Lagos bishop allegedly rapes female pastor twice and threatens reporter. UBEC votes 2 billion naira for teachers' people's headcount. We won't leave Southeast. Our parents lived here for over 100 years, says Seriki Hausa. Okada riders, Lagos task force clash, 180 motorcycles seized. Primary Southeast PDP delegates neglected their aspirants, says Uha Bunwa. And talks with federal government panel over strike fruitless, says Sano. Okay, which story are we taking?
The founder of a church in Lagos State, identified as Bishop Daniels, has been accused of raping an assistant female pastor at his house in Lekki. According to the story, said this particular pastor is married with children and allegedly raped this assistant pastor on 2 different occasions. So there was an event that the church was organizing, and then this assistant pastor was not able to attend. She said it was her brother's birthday, and so she missed her brother's wedding, so she missed the celebration. But then the pastor summoned her to his house for punishment, and said she arrived there on that day. The pastor asked her, there was nobody, I think the family members were not around, and so the pastor asked her to strip, and she stripped. And the pastor said, I don't want to sleep with you, I just want to test you, I just want to see your loyalty, I just want to see this and that. Oh yeah, go and dress up. And she went back and dressed up. And he called her again and said, you should strip. And she stripped, and then she left. Then another incident happened in church, and he called her back for another punishment in his house. That was when he had an opportunity and raped her. He raped her on 2 occasions. He said she was bleeding. She wasn't a virgin, but the tear made her bleed. And before she could step out of the room, the pastor had cleaned out all the blood. So this happened in 2020. She reported the case to the police, but after a few days, the man was released, saying the police said they had no... they're not supposed to hold him for that long. But then the case didn't have a lot of evidence. So now she's pushed the case back because some other members of the church are now saying that the pastor has attempted to rape them. So she now had other witnesses to join her, and the case is currently under investigation.
Oh, wow. Man, such a sad story. Have a story in front?
Yes, I have a story. Of course, we also distributed yesterday the attack that happened in Idi-Araba, Surulere area, between the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Special Offense Enforcement Unit, aka the task force. So they tried to implement the Okada ban within this area, and as opposed to the Okada people just submitting their bikes for the seizure, they fought back. And the attack, the video showed that they were, according to social media, because even Punch was saying, according to what they saw on Twitter, was that they claimed there were gunshots were fired. Videos showed they were firing of tear gas. Residents from the area said that they raided the community within Mushi area as well, and that it doesn't understand why the police went to arrest Okada riders in Idi-Araba, because that part of Idi-Araba is under Mushi local government, and the ban does not affect there. That this was an illegal operation by the police, and that he saw the vans and knew a resistance would happen. So obviously we're waiting for more information. Right. What we can confirm is no life was lost, and no building was burnt down. And we're grateful to God for that fact.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Akpabio Amosun Vayemi give Tinubu boost by stepping down. Soludo mocks Catholic priest Ibube Munso. Drama in Abuja court as angry judge orders seizure of reporter's camera, deletion of video clips. Pollution, FG plans health audit of Ugboniland residents. Nigeria heading to anarchy, says CAN. And 2023, IGP sets up electoral offences desk in police commands. Which story are we taking?
So the Anambra State Governor, Chukwuma Soludo, Mariah's favorite governor, reacted to a prophecy by the spiritual director of Holy Ghost Adoration Ministry, Reverend Father Emmanuel Obima. He saw a vision and he said that he saw Fulani. Sorry, he said he saw, according to the papers, they mentioned Fulani, but I'm not going to mention that. He said he saw terrorists attacking the governor's house, and they said he saw them. They had tribal marks. They attacked him, and he was running in a pool of his own blood. And so he, talked about this, and also said that he saw that there were a lot of people ganging up in the forest, waiting to get instruction to strike. Oh. And, the governor reacted, saying that however, that he knows because he has the monopoly of the pulpit, he should be responsible for everything that he says. He's come this far without all of these prophecies. He is a Catholic by birth, and he doesn't believe in all of these prophecies. And if you see some of these things, you should pay attention and pray for yourself and the nation. I also mentioned the fact that he believes that all these prophecies are more phantom. They are just playing to the gallery and is mostly political motivated. If not, why is it that it's only high political officials that you see in some of these prophecies, and why did God not reveal to you the identity of the unknown gunmen? You know, aside from the prophecy that he gave, he also, talked about the administration saying that Soludo is underperforming right now, especially in issues of insecurity and waste management, and then he needs to sit up.
This is like, what, 2 months or 3 months?
Yeah. Yes.
So I had to take the story about journalism. Journalists, 6 judiciary correspondents yesterday were detained for over 2 hours on the orders of Justice Chizoba Orji of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Maitama, Abuja. Now, one of the main persons, and they were also forced to delete videos and pictures they took during the proceedings. After the proceedings, Ms. Wumi Olabori of AIT was made to delete pictures and videos from her phone. Mr. Godwin of The Sun, Ikechukwu Nchori of Vanguard, Austin Ekezi of Ray Power, a veteran journalist, Mr. Charles Ozioma. Trouble started when the judge stood up to step down to go to our office to file the ruling, and a reporter did her own piece to come, wanted to just take cutaways and record, and she was now arrested. So she said she kept reiterating that she's a registered registered journalist, judicial correspondent, and she had a right to do this. And they do this all the time. They record visuals and videos and do their cutaway recordings before leaving the court. And they were told, the judge said that Array brought all of them to the courtroom and asked them why did they do it, that they cannot record or take pictures within his own courtroom without his own permission given to them to do so.
It's his courtroom anyway, so it's not a privilege. They give you the opportunity to record. So there are certain rules. I don't know what the rule, the guidance
exactly,
but it's his courtroom really. So he does have the right within his courtroom. But the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, has directed and approved the establishment of the Electoral Offences Desk at the Force Criminal Investigations Department, FCID, in Abuja. And it's going to be headed by the commissioners of police, and they're going to create various commands across the nation. According to him, the mandates will be to collate and investigate all electoral offences from members of the public or any quarters, view with determined culpability, and in line with the amended Electoral Act, and preferring charges before courts of competent jurisdiction. So they're going to be watching very closely electoral offenders within the during the elections coming 2023. And this is good. This is a good development, because before, sometimes the INEC always feels like they don't have enough information or evidence to gather. But now that the police has created a whole department on this, then they'll be able to have ways to charge proper people, electoral offenders, to court with proper evidences. Okay, now let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. Tinubu Osinbajo Amechi. We'll talk about the APC convention in a moment, because that's the whole topic of the day. Yeah. And I know that TVC is also covering it live right now. They started the counting, and we're going to be going in and out to the Eagle Square to see what's going on. So we'll be covering it as we go on to the show. Let's find a story we've not taken. Bamire emerges 12th OAU of substantive VC, pledges to improve IGR. Over 20,000 Nigerians trapped in Mali, says NAPTIP. 2023, why PDP would take over more states, says IU. Okada ban, mayhem as tax force operators clash in Mushin, Surulere. 1 dead, 1 hospitalized as building collapses in Quarry Market, Kano. Peter Obi is officially our presidential candidate, says LP. Okay, which story are we starting with? I was going to take... Go ahead.
Yes, so a 20-year-old construction worker, Abdul Kadir Nasiru, lost his life while his co-worker, Naziru Shafiu, sustained injuries as the 3-story building collapsed in Kanti Quarry Textile Market in Kano State yesterday. He said 2 of the 3 floors of the building have been completed, while the 3rd floor is still under construction when the collapse happened, and it happened around 12:35 p.m. According to an eyewitness, he says that a lot of buildings in the market do not conform to professional standards, that people indiscriminately add extra floors to their building without professional advice, and this is likely one of the cause of this collapse. So according to the a spokesperson of the Kano State Fire Service, Saminu Yusuf. He also mentioned that this happened as a result of the substandard building materials used to, build those markets. He said they received the district's call around 12 noon on Tuesday about the incident. The two buildings had collapsed. One person had died. The other was evacuated and taken to the hospital. Aside from that, there was no other casualty. So I think they need to look into the people who give the plan, it's town planning that give the approval and also enforce it. So when you've given an approval of 2 stories and you pass there tomorrow and see 3 stories, what do you do about it?
So NAPTIP, that's the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, disclosed yesterday some really staggering data. According to them, over 20,000 Nigerian youths have been trapped in Mali and other countries for sexual exploitation. These exploiters charge them about 150 naira for sex. And before NAPTIP, there were no convictions, but now NAPTIP have been able to get about 516 convictions across. Says that about 13,000 of them were sponsored to the university by the agency. 18,000 victims actually of the trafficking have been rescued. And he was just giving us data on the fact that many of these youngsters move to West African countries to be trafficked. And because they're en route to Europe, many of them get as little as 150 naira, which could be collected by those who traffic them there. So they take them there and collect 150 naira in filling for per session. It says that, let me try, there was another data you get that was really interesting. It's just so sad that only 516 have been convicted since this didn't happen, and it's quite sad.
I want to take the story of Peter Obi. So Peter Obi has been declared the official candidate for Labour Party. This happened in Asaba after the Professor Patutomi addressed the delegates at the National Convention of the party that Peter Obi must be given the opportunity to govern this country. And so the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, emerged the candidate for Labour Party. He was also, if you remember, the vice presidential candidate under Atiku for PDP in the last elections.
Okay, let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune. APC convention suffers hiccups, voting drags. Breakthrough for cancer treatments as U.S. drug trial records 100% success. DSS rescues abducted Kano APC senatorial candidate's mother in Jigawa. UBEC earmarks 2 billion naira for 2022 nationwide schools personnel audit. Fulani attack, I don't need your prophecy. Soludo replies Catholic priest. Makinde picks Bayo Lawal as running mate for 2023 elections. Tension as Okada riders go on rampage in Lagos. I think we're taking most of the stories in this paper. Yeah. Let's take the cancer story.
Yes, so United States drug trial involving cancer patients has reportedly recorded 100% success. So according to the cable, it said the patient had rectal cancer, a type of cancer that begins in the rectum, which is the lower end of the large intestine. Now, according to the publication, it said 12 patients were used for this trial, and they entered remission after taking dostarlimab over a 6-month period. Now, dostarlimab is an immunotherapy drug used in the treatment of endometrial cancer. They say it works by unmasking cancer cells, allowing the immune system to identify and destroy them. So afterwards, they received this dosage every 3 weeks for 6 months, and treatment was followed by standard chemo, radiotherapy, and surgery. At the end of the day, they've been, responding to treatment, and they said this is the first time it has happened in the history of cancer where they are actually saying it's working. So hopefully we'll have more of these drugs given to people who have this rectal cancer.
Okay. So I want to take the story of talks with federal government over strike fruitless. That's from Sanu. And what he mentioned was that the negotiation between the Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational Associated Institutes had recorded no tangible result. Over a 3-month period, they accused the Briggs-led negotiation team of not meeting adhering to the timeline they were meant to. So the meetings they were meant to take place didn't take place. And over that period, they only had one meeting on the 8th of Friday, April 8th. And today, according to reports, June 7 makes exactly 2 months the first meeting took place, and no other meeting had taken place. No tangible thing was put on the table. No offer was made by the government, particularly on improving the conditions of service and welfare of members of SANU, that the government side seem not to be sure of what is going on, and they seem to be groping in the dark. Now, remember that our students have been on strike for a few months based on ASU strike. SANU is also complaining, and while we're discussing politics and politicking, the meetings that is meant to resolve the issues hasn't even been taking place.
But I thought there was a meeting yesterday. They were telling, I read in the papers,
Monday was the deadline for the result, but they were saying like there was really nothing.
Deadlock.
They had gotten out of it.
Okay, I was going to take a story on the UBEC, but I don't have that story anymore. I think that's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, the only news the Nigerians are talking about this morning is the APC convention. That's because we need to know who their flag bearer is, especially now that we have PDP's flag bearer, Atiku Abubakar. We're waiting to see who APC's flag bearer will be. When we come back, we delve into the convention, what you saw, what you heard, and your thoughts. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So as All People's Democratic Party continues all the primaries, we'll be discussing the different angles to this morning at the convention ongoing right now at the Eagle Square in Abuja. The APC will be putting together we're going to be having the various counting going on right now, and we're hoping for the results. But your thoughts on what happened yesterday? Nigerians are asking, what are your views in all the various speeches you heard, the stepping downs? I was particular about the female aspirant, Barrister Uju Ohaneyem, and the truth is that let me start with her, because and I'll come to your thoughts on the general what happened yesterday. I mean, I must express my utmost disgust, displeasure, and the fact that as she spoke, I don't know if you guys heard the speech, and I'd like you to go online and check it out. Talking about, what did she say that really got to me? She said, well, I'm coming on board. Don't you need a mother? We need a mother. You know, and I'm thinking, so as she spoke,
such an embarrassment.
I was just thinking of all the women who were standing, protesting at the National Assembly. I was thinking of all the women who fight for this country. I was thinking of Anobi Ezekesili. I was thinking of Anungozi Kojewe. I was thinking of Bukola Awoshika. I was thinking of women who have shown character.
Substance.
I'm thinking, is it that when all that has come to this person who is talking about, you need a mother? And it was quite disappointing to see her speak. And I have no problem with you stepping down. Everybody's stepping down for one thing or another. But come on, show content.
Show substance.
Show substance. It
was disheartening for me because I watched that speech. As she stood up and started with the dancing, my mind was already doing gigim, because I know once you just, once you come and you start doing, I just understand that you may not really have that much. So I was disappointed that, but I wouldn't blame her, because we can't sit down here and be speaking English and we didn't come out. Did you come out? Did I come out? People will say, hey, you have substance. Why didn't you?
That's true.
Yeah. So
one person came out.
One person came out. Yeah. I remember back in the days when I was, involved in beauty pageants, and you see somebody emerge a winner, and then people will be talking, she's not even fine. She's not even. Did you come out? You are very beautiful. You sat pretty in your house, and somebody came out and they picked from the lot. So we will always pick from what we have been given, what we have been presented. So, but
the other angles. So
the general.
It started with Ashiwaju's speech.
I want to give opinion on that.
Let's start with the girl.
Yes, let's start with the woman, please. For me, I also feel like we are overrating the level of women. You know, we use 10% of women. We use 10% of women to judge the majority of women. And until we understand that the majority of women, they are okay with that. We had a first lady that was like, Jonathan was, that was the first lady. So I think that, one, we need to realize that as a people, we need to do more for generality of us, because we cannot judge us by the 10%, but by the 90%.
True.
And if you are taking census of the 90 of the majority, I'm not surprised by what I saw. But because I read the profile and I felt there would be more, and maybe she just felt like, since I'm stepping out, I should just come and play.
Let me just come and dance.
And that's why I felt like I should comment on the situation.
Understand that for every opportunity you have, it's like you are speaking on our behalf.
Yes, that is exactly why I wanted to comment on the situation, because I felt that she can deliver more than that, but she felt there's nothing going on here, so let me just come and step down. But I believe that she did not understand the weight she was carrying. She wasn't coming there as a barrister individual. She was coming there as a representative of the entire women who ever aspire to political position, who are praying that one day we will be able to aspire and be voted for. Yeah. And she just watered down that's all that canvassing and all that speech into an emotional, sentimental, joyful, like it was nothing. And I feel bad, and I need her to know that she fell our hand. She didn't represent well.
She should not try it again, I beg.
Okay, going back to the other angle, there's so many things happened. Ashiwaju's speech started with Ashiwaju, ended with Professor Vice President's speech. Nice sandwich. When people were stepping down for Ashiwaju, and that person stepped down for Vice President Oshibajo. Lots of dancing, the cheering, and the fact that Ashiwaju was hugging those who stepped out for him. I mean, when he came back, he was hugging them like a father to a son.
Yes, no.
It was very interesting, and I'd really like to open our phone lines early to hear what Nigerians are saying. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read your tweets. I'm told we're not showing on cable, on the TVC News, because obviously everybody wants to see what's going on live. But we'll be going in and out to see the counting that's ongoing right now. Yes, your thoughts?
I missed Ashiwaju's
speech, okay.
Yes, I missed the speech because I had a client I was coaching, so I was trying to finish that before, joining. By the time I joined in, I saw Amechi's speech, Okorocha's speech. There's this guy that was blowing some kind of phone from Ijo. I've forgotten his name. And, the rest people to the end. I watched till the end of their speeches.
Oh, that was Jack Rich?
Yes, Jack Rich, yes. And the only speech that I really, just about two that I enjoyed was that of Amechi. For me, he was reeling out his accomplishments being in the political space, and I felt that was good. We needed to, since we always talk about track record, we needed to hear what you have done, and he was reeling it out and giving the numbers. So I was impressed with that. He had a knowledge of what he had done, how far he had gone, and the sort of promises where he's going to take us to as a country. I like that. Then I fell in love with the president's speech. That's the vice president. Now they call our president already. The vice president's speech. And I know that people will say, hey, it's not about talk. But I'm looking forward to a time where in Nigeria we'll have a president who is a total package, who will be able to represent us, not just in Nigeria, but outside the country. Who would be in a United Nations meeting and understand the questions asked and respond. Exactly. A president who has the charisma. The president necessarily is not the one who will do all the job. Right. It's just to get the right people in. But we as a country should focus on building the image that we have as a nation. I feel bad when I see minister of so and so, you go to a place you cannot even express. And other people from other countries are looking at you. I feel like it doesn't portray us as well as intellectuals, knowing that Nigerians are very amazing people and they are intelligent. Let us show that from the leadership.
Did you notice how that even while he was trying to make a speech, they didn't allow him to speak?
He said, don't step down.
He just said, thank you. No, we love you. We love you. And it was, let me hear your thoughts initially. I'll come back to you.
So the first speech was from Ashiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I expected more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I expected more because after listening to him and listening to former governor, the current minister, Amechi. I'm like, we know the achievements of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he didn't mention it. He didn't remind people. Maybe because he feels everybody should know. But that's not the platform.
Like
that platform was a platform to let everybody remind them of why you deserve it. Because if you just say, I deserve it, without telling us why, we will think you are being entitled.
Yeah.
And many people on Twitter, on social media, carried that. And the president, the Asiwaju said, just came and said, he's done, he's entitled. And I felt it was the speech itself was a disservice to what he represents and his achievements as a consummate politician, as a leader, as a team builder. He didn't sell himself well. And I felt I wasn't comfortable with that because at the end of the day, maybe because people feel like it's not the speech that will sway the election.
But I think
the speech is not the speech that sways the election.
I think his modesty has been part of the problem. You know how many people went to go and burn down the Oriental, saying Asiwaju owned it. Remember that time? Yeah. They went to go and destroyed somebody's hotel. Yeah. Remember saying, I don't own it, because from way back, the whole of Nigeria felt Asiwaju owns Oriental Hotel. Because he doesn't come out to speak, and that goes to his handlers. He needs to come out and blow. Listen, this life you got to tell. You got to tell your story. I would have loved. Asiwaju has so much more to say, but he didn't say. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we open our phone lines and get your thoughts. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing yesterday's convention. It's still ongoing right now at the Eagle Square in Abuja. I would like to hear your thoughts. We're talking before the break about Asiwaju's speech and the fact that he could have said so much more about himself. And it would have been great to hear some of his achievements as Amechi had reeled out his. And what are your own thoughts?
Yes, so, I remembered back in the university when I tried politics a bit, a National Association of Political Science Students, Abraka campus. They had come to meet me to say that they wanted me to be, there were two factions. So the first faction came to me, they wanted me to be the vice president of the association. The other faction came and said, the majority faction, the more of Urobo people, they came and said, BC, you are our girl, we like you. But we have already slated somebody else, another female, to be the vice president. Why don't you take project supervisor? Next year, we're taking you to SUG. So there was a conversation. But I felt, it's politics. I can show my strength. I can speak English. I can do. I went with the other team. They told me, say, you will not win because we have a plan, a system already. I saw politics play out. My manifesto was amazing, awesome, and everything. And at the end of the day, I did not win because they did the groundwork. So I was more in the sky. And I understand maybe a Tinubu's kind of person. He's a political, he knows how to do the groundwork. We'll give that to him. He knows how to do the lobbying. He knows how to have the conversations with the right people, with the people that matter, with the people that will bring people that will vote the vote. He understands all of that. So for him, he may just feel, while I have put in the groundwork, why do I want to waste people's time and speak plenty English? I already have. So that may be what informed him not to strive to impress.
Well, there are other angles to the entire, what happened yesterday. The fact that Senator Godswill Akpabio was the first that opened the floor of stepping down. When I was shocked when I just heard him, said he was stepping down. I was like, what is going on here? I mean, I didn't expect a lot of stepping downs. I assumed that everybody had agreed to come to get voted for.
The groundwork.
But it was interesting. But what are your thoughts on all the stepping downs?
Okay, so I sort of expected there would be stepping downs because at the end of the day, there were too many aspirants, and they must tell themselves the truth when they look at the weather. When you look at the clouds, if you are a good student, you will know where the rain is going to fall. And so it's better for you to align yourself early before it's too late. The alignment should have been done before the convention. So when it started happening at the convention, I felt, okay, they've reached consensus. And the speeches for the stepping down, for me, should have carried a bit more weight. If you don't want to, just come and say, I've stepped down. But some people, like for Dimeji Bankole, former Right Honorable Speaker, let me give him the right title, came and he was going to step down, and he was just laughing. I'm like, do you understand?
No, he said,
like people didn't sleep.
Waiting
like
for you.
The weight of the nation is counting on this moment. As we're speaking, thousands of people are watching the counting process on our TVC news page. Some people are watching here, going to watch there. People are keeping vigil. And then you come and you're laughing. You immediately think but you now laugh and say you're stepping down. Oh, no. It's a strong moment. You aspired. You got some people to believe in you. You should step down with some. I was a presidential aspirant. I have seen the value of this person. Sell the person you're stepping down for and step down. I just felt that was a bit watered down in terms of the speech.
There was a lot of
sentiments. Expectation from these people, but he fell my hand. I know we're still talking stepping down, but one person that really... another person that touched me, not in the stepping down place, was Pastor Tunde Bakare. His speech.
I am not stepping down for anybody.
Yes, he was like, he said, I'm not stepping down for anybody. And he was very emphatic.
But he acknowledged that
yes, and he acknowledged his achievement, his leadership. He said that experience is not what we need. Experience has gotten us this far.
If speeches is what we needed to run to win this race, if not for speech, because when I was listening to the VP, I was thinking to myself, if this man was speaking to Nigerians in his diaspora, like imagine it was diaspora voting that you needed, that just click, just click send. You don't finish. If that diaspora voting you need right now, you don't finish. But if it's these 2,322 delegaats that have been free local governments across the country that came to this convention, they are speaking this English. I say Father in heaven. Father in heaven. But anyway, so it's still ongoing. We're waiting. I'm trying to open our phone calls to see. But somebody who was an Okorimefa for me was, I think it was Obonaya Onu, who spoke in favor of his people. Because, you see, whether we like it or not, this season, many believe that the pendulum should have swung to the southeast. And I like the fact that he didn't step down. I like the fact that he stood his ground. I like the fact that a few people, Amechi also did not step down. I like the fact that it is important for us to see that Okorocha did not step down. Yes, he came down, he was clowning a bit, but he was able to stand his ground. Because the truth is that we must sense that the Southeast is strong and they're willing to stand by what they believe in, which was great for me.
I would have wanted to see maybe Amechi, Okorocha, all the Southeast come together and push one person. It would have been a stronger force. And that's what I'm still waiting to see till tomorrow. Why don't you see the way we need to learn how to play politics the right way? We need to learn this game if we really want to have a headway. You can't do it being single. You can't do it alone. Because you wouldn't gather as much strength that you need to be able to push forward. Imagine if all of their supporters, one, come together and they push one person forward. It's not about I have to be the one to do the work. Somebody else can do the work and you put in your support. Till the Southeast gets there, I don't know.
I have Otumba Ojo. Good morning, Otumba. Good morning, Otumba. Are you there?
I'm there. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Morai. How are you?
Very well. Go ahead, please.
God bless you guys. What you saw last night at the conventional ground was never a surprise. Nigerians have envisaged this for a very long time. That is our change. The only man to set the record straight is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We've not seen nothing yet. You wait until after the general election. This man will turn this nation to be an enviable nation where Europeans, Americans will come down and invest and build a nation for us. That's all I want to tell Nigerians. That's all I want to tell the Christians. That's all I want to tell progressives. That's all I want to tell Democrats. That Ashiwa is the best man for this job. God bless Nigeria. Long live Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm told we have Senator Boroffice on call. Good morning, sir. Are you there? Good morning, Senator. Are you there? Senator Boroffice, are you there? Okay, I'm having trouble linking up with him. We're trying to, because he's one of the aspirants that stepped down for the president yesterday. We'd like to hear for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu yesterday. So since yesterday, a few videos have been going viral. People know that, yes, it was clear that Asiwaju had quite a bit of respect in the House. Many people there respected him, saw him as a father. I mean, the governor of Ekiti kept referring to him, I'll step down for our father. He was saying, he's our leader. So obviously the respect is there. The acknowledgement of his contribution is there. But
that
others are saying that he has earned. Others are saying that, do we think he's physically fit for this role? That's on social media. Everybody's talking about it, that is Asiwaju mentally ready for this role of presidency?
I don't think it's about the mental readiness, but the physical readiness. And I recollect mentioning it when he declared, I think it was around January or February, that there's been a lot of speculation about his physical health, especially after our current president has a regular checkup in the UK that all Nigerians need to bear, and at a point spent 6 months straight in receiving treatment abroad, that we didn't want to get into another season where we have that same thing. And a lot of people came for me explaining, no, he's fit, he's traveling around the country doing his campaign thing. But yesterday there was an episode and there was a bit of a break. I do believe that we've had one of the greatest presidents in America was on a wheelchair.
There were 5 presidents in America. Woodrow Wilson was there, FDR, Ronald Reagan. All of them were sick during their tenure.
So it's people have been on wheelchair, people have been sick, and they are still able to provide leadership. So the question is, Nigerians are still going to vote. APC primaries is not electing president, is electing an aspirant. And we must all get involved and start asking questions. And I believe that the team handling Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's campaign should be more open.
Thank you.
And speak up more, engage. Because I know that please, Murayo, I've spoken to a few politicians that feel, it's up where we don't need media what win election. What that means is, it is not in media they win elections. The thing that happens, we've discussed with the people on ground. These people were contesting for senatorial districts. So he was telling me, they cannot take me out. I've already discussed with the people. It's not in Lagos State, for the people that are guessing, that they've discussed with the people on ground and they have already secured it. He doesn't need to post on social media or do anything. He knows he has the election. He said this 3 months before the primaries. He had the election. So when you understand politics the way Asiwaju understands it, the assumption is that we know the people we talk to, but guess what? We also are Nigerians and we want to hear from the president.
I want to take another example. Let me take Hassan. Hassan, are you there? Good morning, Hassan from Lekki. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning.
And I'm happy for Nigeria and for Nigerians. Why am I saying this? It's because I saw the Nigerian net in Nigeria. I saw the Nigerians that stood for the unification of Nigeria and for the betterness of Nigeria. By standing for a southern presidency after the presidency of General Muhammadu Buhari must have expired in 2023. Congratulations to the northern state governors for standing firm. Congratulations to the southern governors for the push. And congratulations for all Nigerians that meant well for Nigeria for standing on the path of the truth. May God tell us truth. May God make Asiwaju to be our next president. Asiwaju is the only person among all the contenders with the structure, with the national spirit, with the prowess, with whatsoever it takes to rule this country. And is the only person that can withstand Atiku Abubakar, because Asiwaju was the one that danced with Atiku to a third place in the primary that was held in 2015 in Lagos here. And all of us are going to rally behind him by the grace of God to stay through to be our president come 2023.
All right. Thank you very much. I think what you were talking about earlier, which I thought was important. Listen, Nigerians are seeing that, yes, maybe Asiwaju's physical health might not be as optimal as it should be. But somebody must let Nigerians know that it is his mental state we need, not his physical state. Because we've seen presidents across the world where some have been on wheelchairs, as you said earlier, others had different sicknesses, and they were still able to run the country. So, but they must be open to tell us what it is. Don't pretend like it's not there. We see it. Tell us, regardless of that, this is still the man for the job. So be open, and I think that's what Nigerians want to tell us the truth. So that's what we're dealing with, so that we know that, okay, this is the situation, but don't make it look as if we can't see.
When you avoid discussing the issue, people will make assumptions, and their lies will thrive.
Yeah. Why I like to compare a lot because we want to be better. I understand that we are not America. America has a system and a structure to hold everybody accountable. There's a rule of law that is followed to the latter. We haven't built up to that stage. So we have people who are in leadership whose homes are not in the country, and they're in leadership. Nobody's holding them accountable. They fly in when they have to do a meeting and fly out. Their children don't school here. They don't.
Their wives don't live here.
Medical health system here. Everything is out, but they're here for leadership, and they do and go back. They have an option. We don't want somebody who will come into leadership to have an option. Because when you have an option, your attention is divided. You cannot solve the issues on ground because you know, worst case scenario, you up and you leave. And so we don't have that structure to say, well, if your mental capacity is okay and your physical is not okay, it's fine. People are asking questions. It will be easier to have somebody who can. In mentally, physically, academically, psychologically be fit for the job. So it takes away some of the issues we'll now start dealing with so that you can focus on the main issues, which is the governing the country.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue. Open our phone lines to take more calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have Senator Boroffice joining us. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show. So, you were one of the aspirants that stepped down for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday. And many Nigerians are asking why.
Well, first of all, let me say I thank you for inviting me to participate in this program. I'm a committed member of the APC, and I believe that since we were established in 2013, we have been doing very well. Mr. President has done so much for this country, and we need a successor that will build on what he has done. And that is why I went into this race with so much optimism, with so much enthusiasm. Secondly, I want to raise this issue that I'm from Ondo State. Ondo State has been sort of been at the periphery of Southwest politics. We have not been considered as a major stakeholder in Southwest politics. So I came in to stand for my state. I came in to give my state a voice. I came in so that Ondo State will be part of the conversation of the politics of Southwest and politics of Nigeria. Having made my point, I acknowledge Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a leader, a national leader. I met him in 2011 when he asked me to come and join ACN. I was in Labour Party. I was contesting for senatorial election. But I told him that he should let me finish the election, and if I won, then I would change over to, come over to ACN, which I did. And since then we have been interacting. I have seen him as somebody who
discipled people, and after discipling people, he promotes them to political heights, even outside Lagos State. It's a man who has become a rallying point for progressive politics in Nigeria. Having said that, I believe that he has the qualities, has the qualifications, has the experience to lead this country, to build on the legacy of our President Muhammad Buhari. I heard you chatting, earlier on that somebody said we don't need experience. If we don't need experience, what do you need to lead a nation of over 200 million, very heterogeneous in terms of ethnic architecture? So the man has the experience, he has everything that it takes to be a leader in this country. And taking that into consideration, I decided to step down for Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay, sir, let me ask, why did you, so I saw a lot of stepping down, and I was wondering why you waited to the last minute to step down. Was it not something you had considered earlier? Because sometimes it may look like there's pressure from somewhere at the end of the day. Couldn't you have stepped down earlier?
Well, I came in as a false speaker. Is that it was not well coordinated. The plan is that all of us from the Southwest should step down for Ahmed Tinubu. I was his number 4 in the team. So we just need somebody to start it off. And I'm happy that they started with, I think, Dimeji, and then Amosu, then Fayebi. So I wasn't under any pressure. I did it voluntarily because I believe in his leadership.
Okay, Senator, I wanted to ask you concerning the way the primaries has gone so far, and the fact that there's this, what would I call it, the elephant in the room, the vice president, and the fact that the vice president did not step down, the vice president's speech, the vice president going headlong into the competition. How do you see, what is your own opinion, number one, about the conversation around betrayal? Let's just, because that's what we've been hearing all over social media prior to now, and I would like to hear your opinion on that. And then going forward, how would you relate with him after these primaries?
With who?
The vice president, sir.
Well, I think this is democracy. And the beauty of democracy is that everyone should be able to express himself, to vote and be voted for. So he has taken a position, is interested in the position. He has been vice president for how many years now? 7 years. And he believes that he's learned on the job and he wants to continue to succeed the present, his principal. Well, as far as to betrayal, I think it will not be right for me to judge him. He must have his reason for going on and refusing to step down for his mentor. I will call him his mentor. We were together in Lagos State University. We were professors together in Lagos State University. And when he was commissioner of justice in Lagos State, so I know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has played a major role in his political development. But again, I don't want to judge him. I will say if I were his position as a vice president at this time, I will joyfully, happily step down for my mentor, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right. So, well, thank you so much, Senator. I mean, we're going to be wrapping up with you, but right now the counting is ongoing. The numbers are coming in gradually, and we're waiting for the announcement. But do you think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the capacity to defeat Atiku Abubakar?
Of course, any candidate from APC will defeat Atiku Abubakar. Abubakar has been exposed politically, morally, that makes him very vulnerable. And I believe that anybody, any candidate from any flag bearer from this APC will defeat Atiku. In any case, APC is not fighting Atiku alone. We're also fighting the party. The party has been, in power for 16 years and messed up the economy, and we have, indices to show that. So when you combine the profile of the very, poor profile of their flag bearer and with the poor performance of PDP for 16 years, I don't think we're going to have difficulty in convincing Nigerians to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has demonstrated his capacity and capability in Lagos State. Hearing yesterday said Lagos State is the 6th largest economy in Africa. That is a very, very serious issue we have to take into consideration. So we want a thriving and sustainable economy in Nigeria, and if he can come down and do that for us, everybody will be happy. Right. The Nigerian project will have been a big success. So I don't think we have difficulty in defeating that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Senator Boroffice, for joining us this morning. I appreciate your thoughts on the show today. We're speaking with him. He was the former presidential aspirant of APC. Thank you so much, sir. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines. And we'll try to go to Eagle Square to take some live pictures from the stadium to see how far the counting is going, and hopefully we should have an announcement soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the APC convention that started yesterday and is still ongoing right now at Eagle Square in Abuja. And we're discussing what we saw, what we heard, and our thoughts on it. And if you observed yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw, Governor Yahya Bello snubbed the chairman of the APC National Working Committee. He greeted Chief Bisi Akonde. He greeted Odige, the other, I think, the deputy chairman, Oyegun. Yes, Odigo Oyegun. And then he snubbed Adamu and walked right past him. Of course, cameras picked it up. I don't know what happened, why he snubbed him, but that was an interesting. Of course, we know why he snubbed him. But so what else did you see that was interesting?
No. Still on this one.
On this, yeah.
But I'm not surprised by the snubbing reaction, because this is the same governor. When he doesn't like something, he cannot hide it. Like there's that level of he expresses himself, not arrogance. I didn't want to use what I want to use, which would have said the level of emotional intelligence. I'll make you say I don't like it, but I'll still, or sportsmanship, that I don't like what you did, but I'm still going to come to the meeting. I don't like what the meeting is about, but I will attend the meeting. He's the one that did not attend the meeting, because he knew what the meeting was going to be about. He chose not to attend the meeting. Some see it, some are able to see it as it's an amazing thing. They feel like, I like this man. What he wants, he wants. What he does not want, he does not want. He does not know how to be doing. He's not being diplomatic. I don't like what I hate. He will just give it to you. But other people will be like, this is politics. You're dealing with a country with such diversity. You should be able to see something you hate, stay close enough to change it, because if you are fine, you're not able to change it. Or some will say, okay, you might not like it. We agree to disagree. We must play politics and move on. But that was a
Let me take a day
vintage.
Let's take a day from London. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Ade. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes. I want us to look at this issue of contesting in a different way. I don't want people to blame me or Sibai. It's really blame or Sibai because Tinubu is more than qualified. But health-wise, Nigeria, government Nigeria is not a key party. It's different from Lagos. It is the whole country. The pressure is too much. And we all know that the Tinubu said it's not that calm. We don't want a situation like Yar'Adua and Jonathan. And Yoruba will start change. That's why we start changing. We cannot be comparing America. In America, there's nothing like South, Southeast, Northeast, nothing like that. They are all American. So Nigeria is a different place entirely. So I support Osibajo to be there because it's very, very important. Because it's not easy to govern Nigeria. So please, people should not be blaming Osibajo. I love Tinubu, but that's why. It's not a joke. So that's it. But God will bless Nigeria upon Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The America we're referring to was back in America in the 1913s. These are olden days, so things were not as organized as it was, as it is now.
We'll
but
get there.
going back to the happenings, let's stay on Professor Yemi Osibajo for a while, because after his speech, or even while he was trying to make the speech, all the noise, they're trying to calm them down, and after his speech, he came back, and even at the box, he got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
You know, people hugged him. The president, who was very, very mute, also stood up to shake him. You know, so I mean, I think he also really enjoyed a bit of attention yesterday. Don't you think?
Yeah. So for me, while everybody was giving their speech, I was constantly looking at the president. I wanted to be able to read him.
Poker face.
Yeah, but the expression was so blank and bland. I couldn't. You know, there's a way you hear somebody and you say, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. And that smirk or that smile, but nothing. He was just all, and I'm like, now, wow, this man's strong. I don't envy your wife because it will be difficult to get something out of you. You don't even show any form of softness. But I like the fact that the president, the vice president was, giving that standing ovation. His speech was really good, and you could see that this is somebody who understood what it took to do the job. And he said something. He said, the way Nigeria is going, it's not a time for somebody to come and learn on the job. It's a time to, once you get in, you are working, you're moving, because you've already highlighted what needs to be done, and then you get all the necessary help you need to do the job. So he spoke to me like somebody who has an idea, somebody who would deliver if given that opportunity. And I'm looking for, see me, I like the glitz and the glam. Let's not, Nigeria is a what's-up country. Nigeria is a country, a what's-up. Like, a what's-up. We know what, no, you go to other African countries and they can spot you that you're a Nigerian. The way you talk, the way you dress, you're confident. And then when it comes to our leadership, I feel like they're not doing justice. Yes. So we will do the work. The work will be done. We will identify people who will work hand in hand, but let's also focus on this sort of image, I said this earlier, that we want the country to have.
Yeah, did you observe that our president is healthier than when he started office? So all these are saying that somebody's not feeling well. I'm just telling you, our president looks healthier than that is when he came in.
But we can attribute that, please let me not say what I want to say, but I'm going to say it. Because we must attribute that
to the treatment
abroad,
and
the cost of that treatment that was sustained definitely
by the Nigerian pockets.
Nigerian pockets.
Well, I've said everything.
And I wish he could experience his health was revived like that within the shores of Nigeria. 7 years ago, can look like looks now with quality health care within our shores. The issues are plenty, my people.
Okay, let me take our news correspondent. Is the Deputy Bureau Chief, TVC. Good morning, Femi Akande. Are you there? I know you're live. Good morning. I'm sure you haven't slept. I saw you all night yesterday covering the convention.
Yes, it's been a long night, a long way to imagine the presidential platform after all progressive Congress. But that process is ongoing. In a couple of hours, we'll find out who the APC presidential platform will be.
What's the mood? I mean, are there still delegates on ground monitoring the counting, or is it just the officials that are there? What's the mood there? Who is available? Who's around there right now?
Well, there are a lot of delegates around here. A lot of them have waited. They want to witness that moment when a winner will be announced, because it took them
weeks, months, a long time of politicking, engaging, consulting before they could get to this very moment where they all had to take that, make that big decision to elect somebody who will fly the flag of the party in the next presidential election. We also have party officials here, a few dignitaries. The president left last night. The vice president is also not here. The president of the Senate has also left. The state box is pretty much empty right now, but we expect them to return very soon because everyone wants to be part of that big moment when the flag bearer of the APC will be announced, and the president is expected to present that winner to the party and then ask party members to throw their weight behind whoever emerges from this process and ensure that the party goes into the general election big, strong, and indivisible. Mariah.
All right.
So I want to find out from you. We realized that there were hecklers and cheering, you know, people that were heckling the speeches, some were cheering the speeches. What was the general mood pre the voting, and has it changed since the counting? What would you say?
Yes, you know, that kind of mood is expected in a political atmosphere like this. You know, that was how some of the delegates welcomed their preferred candidate. A lot of them cheered. And for some of them, once they see another aspirant, some of them booed and all of that. But at the end of the day, all of that added to the whole drama that made this whole process quite interesting. But, you know, now everywhere it's calm. The atmosphere is tension-soaked. Delegates are anxious as the returning officer counts the ballots one after the other. Everyone here is now a mathematician putting numbers together. There are so many permutations, calculations, but you know, all of that would solely depend on the eventual outcome of the the returning officer here. He has that sole responsibility to count the votes and announce who emerges as the party's flag bearer. And this process is also being monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Their presence here gives credibility to the whole process and also validates the emergence of a presidential aspirant for the All Progressives Congress. We are also expecting that the whole atmosphere would change and become quite ecstatic when when the winner is announced, when a winner emerges from this contest. We expect a lot of his supporters to burst into wild jubilations. But of course, we have seen security men around, and we believe that at that time they will still be able to manage the whole situation, manage the crowd, and ensure that all of this does not result into a breakdown of law and order. We recall during the PDP convention that EFCC was on ground monitoring the money bags, following the money. Did you observe any officials of the EFCC around, or did you see any cash being passed around during the APC convention? Yes, we saw a contingent from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission also here at the Eagle Square venue of the special convention of the All Progressives Congress. They went round from stand to stand, just looking around to be sure that there is no monetary transaction. Money is not changing hands here at the venue of the National Convention. But you know, one thing is that President Muhammadu Buhari also attended this event, so a level of decorum was maintained here. All of those financial transactions and inducements would have happened behind the scenes. Most of these lobbying and consultations happened in hotel rooms, conference halls, and all of that. But here at the Eagle Square, everyone was down to business of voting who their preferred choice would be.
All right, there you go for a question.
Yes, so I know that they are calling names now and people are doing their calculations, but in your observation, what body language are you seeing? How do you think it's tilting? Yes.
Well, it will be hard to say for now, but you know, yesterday we saw some aspirants step down for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We saw a very strong contender in the race. the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Kayode Fayemi, stepped out and endorsed the candidacy of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We saw that also from Godswill Akpabio, the minister of the former minister of Niger Delta. We saw again an endorsement of Asiwaju's candidate from Ajayi Boroffice, from Ibikunle Amosun, from even the only lady in the race, the only female presidential aspirant, also stepped down and supported the candidacy of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But if it's going by that, some people would say that it might swing in favor of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But it's not for us to say. We will wait until the electoral officer finishes counting and then announces an eventual winner.
Now, I have to ask you this, because for those who don't have the opportunity to see the live videos yesterday, so they had the boxes out per state. Please confirm for me. So each delegate from the state knows the box of the state, and they go there and they drop in, and now they're counting per box per state. Is that what they're doing?
No, all of the votes were cast randomly. It wasn't the boxes were available, but the delegates cast their votes in any ballot box, any ballot box of their choice. Okay. Those ballot boxes were not designated per state. So it was just a random vote cast. And that is why we are seeing what is happening in the counting, where names of aspirants, different names of aspirants are coming out of different ballot boxes. So it's just a random process. That is why it is really hard to predict for now until that final moment. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
That's interesting. So you could have been paid, but you still got your conscience. Oh, fantastic. If you have a conscience. So that's interesting. It's good to know that regardless of the horse trading that happened at the back, people will still, because the vice president said something.
That we've accepted the fact that some delegates have been paid.
The VP said it yesterday that listed this party is dependent on 2,322 people. That's a huge responsibility. Yeah. So you vote your conscience, vote wisely. And I'm so happy that it's at least is discreet enough for them to vote.
Amechi also said that collect the money and vote your conscience. so it's like because the money exchange hands.
It's a one-off, it's a given.
Even in the America.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kande, for telling us, sharing with us. Emi, are you still there? Thank you so much. I'll have to let you go at this moment. So that's live feed from the Eagle Square in Abuja. We're still waiting. I was going to ask you how many boxes have been counting. So, because we heard about 4 boxes, 5, but I don't know how many, because they're going to 40.
Yeah. We need to analyze how long we're going to keep watching this.
This is going to go. Why do they always choose night?
No, but I think people are working. So I think it makes sense for you to do it when people have closed from work. We cannot stop governance because we want to do primaries, elections. So,
and also so that the universe can bless them.
Is universe blessing at night?
I don't know. But I think that right now, the party members and the delegates will be focused on who can bring the presidency home. As against who we really know may do the work.
So anything can still happen?
No. I'm just saying because politics is a game of numbers. So now we know who the PDP is. We know how many numbers this guy can rally. Who can match him?
But Senator Boroffice just said, no matter who is picked, the ruling party will put their weight. Yes. So it could be any Tom, Dick, whoever it is.
Yes, but they will also pick somebody that, even with our support, other people outside can support as well to bring that presidency home. So it's not about who can really do it.
Nigeria's really changed. We need electoral voting.
Yes,
because
this assumption, many people just, especially on social media, everybody's assuming that it's a contest between PDP and APC, but then Twitter believes that LP.
LP.
People vote.
Twitter believes that LP is a viable option. They still keep Simogalu with ADP, and there are many options. The truth is, we mustn't close our eyes to. Nigerians must look through what we have and listen to the people campaigning and what they are saying, and choose based on what they feel will work. Absolutely. We shouldn't leave the 2020 election to the political machinery that is already on ground, because the political machinery is not the only one feeling the economic challenges that we're facing. It's happening to everybody, so everybody must be involved in getting your PVC, ensuring that you
know something that happened recently. My husband has 4 friends, right? And all 4 are running for office. 3 of them have come to interviews, major stations, all the major TV news stations. If you're there, you watch it like, well, my friend, oh my goodness, he speaks so well. You know, social media, he posts his campaign, what he's doing, and he's so impressed. All three lost though.
Oh.
They won where not even one post.
I said it.
Not go to one television station. They don't speak any English. He got his tickets. They won that they don't do anything. That he got. So sometimes these are English that we're speaking.
Yeah, it doesn't take you anywhere. The sons of Issachar understood the times and the season. I just gave you my analogy in school, how I felt I could fly in the sky and come and win a position. But people who understood how the work is done, how to follow through, how to use people, how to lobby. They were having meetings back to back to back. They were talking to people that needed to be talked. They will kneel down to people that need to be knelt for. They will parcel to people that need the envelope. They will do whatever it takes to get that buy-in.
Yeah, a returning senator told me he did not do any media. He didn't even have a signboard. So I was like, then you don't have any signboard. He said, you don't need to have a signboard until you have emerged the candidate. So why would he be doing signboard until that?
When he has not spoken to the right people.
That's the people that will vote. He was not listing all the things he has done. He said, this local government, I did their road. I gave this one water. I built the market. I'm giving old people, all of them have been collecting salary for the past 3 years.
Imagine.
Every month. He said, they are the ones that are in charge. And so when you know you have fixed the right people, then you feel you are assured of this.
Let me take this call from Macaulay. Macaulay, are you there from London? You're live. Good morning, Macaulay. Are you there?
Yeah.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
What I just want to say is that most of our politicians from the Southwest do not understand the entity called Nigeria. Are you hear me?
Yes.
They do not understand the entity called Nigeria. The Hausa Fulani from the north have just played an advanced political game with the Southwest and the Southeast. For the fact that the governors have said this should be zoned to the south, and the Igbos are alienated because of whatever reasons, then southwest, we have about 7 presidential aspirants, 4 of them from Ogun State. That is not a sign that the southwest is speaking with one voice. Forget people withdraw and not the rest. This should have been done before now. Look at what happened during the PDP. The owners of Nigeria, they called Tambuwa and asked Tambuwa to step down. And when Tambuwa did that, that still tells the result towards Atiku. Now, I said they played an advanced political game. The whole of the North are going to support Atiku, and APC are going to lose the election if Tinubu wins. That is what is going to happen. I'm not a prophet of doom, but from my analysis, I've been to the North, I've been everywhere to the North. So I know these people in and out. So if Tinubu wins, APC will lose the election, and the whole of the North will work for it.
According to your
presentation. Thank you so much, Macaulay. So
people are doing...
There are lots of predictions.
Predictions, calculations,
even there was a tweet that was going on that the member of the convention committee was saying yesterday that the person tweets that if you vote for Ashwaji, there'll be Muslim tickets, and that was false. So the person the tweets around took the delegates, trying to stop them or dissuade them from voting. So there are different things going around. But listen, people will have their permutations and combinations. It's fine. But we'll see what happens when it happens.
In a few hours' time. Just
Okay.
continue watching TV.
I'm going to be speaking with a member of the media subcommittee of the convention, Senator Ajibola Bashir, very soon. We're waiting to connect with him. He's also going to tell us the plans they had in place, if things worked out according to their own plans, and how they hope to make the official announcement, what's the game plan for the rest of this morning. So we're waiting to speak to him. But I'd like to... Okay, I'm told he's on... Good morning, Senator. Are you there? Hello, good morning, Senator. Senator Ajibola Bashir, are you there? Okay, we're having issues with the audio. All right, so let's take a few comments on social media. What are people saying?
Hey, do you think we should read that today?
No,
Very
we'll
nice.
see the one that we can read.
Let's be looking for. Oluwaseun says, Emilo Kan and Egbewa. And Egbewa politics ni. I love Naija. In our divisions and troubles, we'll still joke and laugh.
Somebody, Bugsy was saying, Tokwe, you need political machinery on ground to win. You need the spread to win. Another person is saying, man, the comments are not...
Bugsy said...
They're too partisan.
Yes.
It's not that the comments are bad. It's just too partisan. There are some for, some against, and it just isn't
healthy for TV. So, you know, my issue is not the machinery that is on ground, because machinery will always be on ground. My issue is the 20 million people that are yet to pick up their PVCs. I read this in the papers myself. The spokesperson for INEC was saying that, listen, we don't count ballots on the social media. We don't count ballots in your homes. You registered. You took the strength to go out to go and register. Now pick up a PVC. Even ordinary Lagos State alone, less than 10% out of 34,000 that have already registered. And they see your PVC is ready. Only 3,000 have picked up. So if you're talking about political machinery, you are the machinery. Nigerians are refusing to come forward to come pick up their PVCs. So we are the problems. So we can talk about machinery that is on ground, but the truth is that you have the capacity to change and upturn the current machinery if you come out and vote. Because we're saying APC, PDP, but there's a third party, there's a fourth party. LP is there, Peter Obi is there, telling I am here, I'm available. Mogalu is there, saying I'm available. These are options. At least we have 4 or 5 options for Nigerians to vote this time around.
I think the masses should understand the powers that they have. We are actually in the majority if we are ready to put in the work. You know, we're so used to being pampered and everybody sits in their nice offices, their nice phones. You don't want to be in the sun and all that. And we forget that what we have now is because we have allowed it. If we sit up, we register, we pick up our PVCs, we come out to vote, the masses alone, even with the machineries that are on ground, can sway because we have the numbers. So when we consider that and we come together, I think we'll be able to make a difference.
Let me take Senator Bashir. He's back. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good. Good to have you. I know you're a member of the media subcommittee on the convention. So tell us the plans for the announcement. How do you plan to go about the next steps now that the counting is ongoing?
Yes,
after the counting, what happens?
As I'm speaking now, you can hear from the background where the 21 ballot boxes are being sorted out.
Okay. So after sorting, what happens?
At the moment is reached for aspirants, and you will also see that for possible objection to be raised, there is no unanimity. Such ballots have been cancelled. On the ground that the choice of a delegate is not clear, or when the ballot is not authenticated at the. We hope that in the couple of in the next hour or so, the will be sorted, and then election.
Okay, we're having a bit of connection. We can't hear him very well. Okay. All right, we're having troubles linking up with him. So
another comment, Derake says, voter education is very important, and that's a matter for the Electoral Commission.
Richard Chukwu, in agreement with you, says exactly the alternatives. Kingsley Mogalu is still there. So there are several alternatives from...
Let me say this thing.
No, not for TV. Because,
yes, it's just there are people that just...
Plus yabbing.
Yabbing us, yabbing themselves. Everything we say, they are going to twist it. God is our help.
This season, now
But I think it's all good. We should realize that this is not where the election is won. And every comment you drop on social media doesn't sway anything. You know, it can instigate, it can incite, but it will not determine what the president will be. What determines is your PVC and you going to vote.
Ability to vote. I will try as much as
possible. On this table, we have brought in Yahya Bello. On this table, we have brought in many people from PDP. We have never brought in anybody from Ashiwaju's camp before. You know, so suddenly, because of this, within the last 24 hours, they now turn everything as if, we're trying to project. No, it's not. From the beginning of this campaign, we brought in more PDP aspirants and brought in so many other underdogs on this table to come and talk to us. Nobody remembered that, it's Ashiwaju. Now that's 24 hours, and people are now suddenly trying to paint us in a different. It's okay.
Yeah, so Iderake says, INEC is making it easier for registration online to get the voters registration card for those who do not have one. People need voters to be voting literate. I think that we need to discuss it more before the entire thing would close, even though they've closed online registration for those that are doing ID change of address and
what about capturing? Are you?
Okay, so take a picture on your phone. Everything can be done on your phone.
I'm told our guest is back on phone because we're having issues linking up with him directly. So, Senator Bashir, you were saying earlier about what happens after the sorting. We didn't hear you the last time. Please, could you just repeat that? Hello, sir. Senator Bashir, can you hear me? Hello, sir. Okay, we're going to be wrapping up very soon. Hello, sir. Are you there? Okay, we are having connection issues. We'd really like to know what the next steps are, how they plan to. I like the fact that they allowed every single aspirant to speak. You know, I thought that was really good. Although they give them 2 minutes, I mean, them is about 5 minutes. But some use 10 minutes. But I'm happy that we're able to hear each person. And they got their moment to express themselves. So it's not left to the conscience of the delegates. The voting is over now. They are sorting. After sorting, they begin to count. Yeah. After counting, we have an announcement, and then we take it from here. The result. It's going to be like a whole day thing. I don't think they'll be done in a few hours. Yeah. So there's something that might be on. Very last-minute situation. Okay, so we're hoping that we can reconnect with him. If not, it would be nice to get some phone calls. Our phone lines are 081-270-53687, 09139-07694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read your tweet. We'd like to take some tweets, not YouTube messages. Let's take a few tweets.
So, Darkos feels that our delegates are corrupt and vicious. He said corrupt and vicious delegates are the most dangerous weapon used against the masses in Nigeria.
So let's define what delegates are. Who are the delegates?
Pick the delegates? Because he said they are willing to sacrifice everyone's life, including their people, for money. We should start holding them responsible because they are worse than the political Draculas we're trying to get rid of.
So what makes you a delegate? First of all, you belong to a political party. Yeah. Yes. So those of you that are speaking on Twitter, on YouTube, you belong to any political party. I'm here yabbing the female aspirant. I did not run. I mean, I can sit back here and can condemn what she said, that Akash, but me, I could have easily run through. So it's easy for us to condemn. It's easy for us to condemn and say, who are the delegates? Because that's really, I mean, as I said, the direction of APC is dependent on the vote of these 2,322
That's what the VP
people.
also said.
And it's important for us to know that they are competent, that people who have clear minds, who know that they're voting for Nigeria, not for themselves. Yeah. So if that is the case, going forward, if we don't like the selection of these delegates, how do you and I become a delegate tomorrow?
And it reminds me of what Bankole Wellington had to do. Banky W tried doing politics from the outside. He went to a different party, the Nigerian Youth People's Party or something, party like that. But in this admission, he went into a PDP, and I watched his interview, and it was very inspiring. And he said, you cannot fight...
Momodu said that you cannot win a party from a fringe party. Yes. You cannot win an election from a fringe party.
So you need to get into the ring. So he became a PDP candidate, you know. And even when things did not go his way, he still went for the primaries, general, and then they came back and then he's back into the race. So
good morning, John. Are you there?
Get involved and stop complaining.
For this morning.
All right.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is my first time, of course.
Welcome to the show.
You've taken it away from me. Nigeria, we love talking on social media, but they will go out to go and vote or for their activities to vote them out. But the problem there is that I don't know what we can do for these old people still be on board. Politics and the young ones are there talking on social media. Social media cannot do it for us. you should go and collect our PVC and then vote for the right candidate. Thank you, Maura.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
We're going to be wrapping up, and I think, as I said, this is an exciting moment because, yes, APC is about to pick their own flag bearer. We already have quite a number of flag bearers across other parties already. And the presidency doesn't come from this convention. The presidency comes from the elections coming up next year. So this is really not the elections. This is just one party's election towards their own flag bearer. So the real elections, the real party starts next year. And how does it start? With you getting your PVC.
Now.
When you get your PVC now, then we now go to the polls next year and we begin to vote based on our own conscience. So the delegates are picked. But tomorrow, if you don't like who the delegates pick, let us become delegates. How do you become a delegate? You belong to a political party. Once you belong to a political party, you can now you attend their meetings, their ward chairman. I'm not sure how they pick this delegate. But gradually, you now become a representative of your local government and then become a delegate for a presidential candidate. So these are the things the educated class, the exposed class, the elites, the ones that want to feel that Nigeria belongs to them. Please, let's go down to the grassroots and get our
do the
work. That's all we can take on the show. I guess by this time tomorrow, we'll know who the answer is, and then we can move on to other important matters in Nigeria. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.